Let's get honest. You want to have a one-on-one with me? Fine. But I mean, if we're going to go back in time and we're going to say, hey, we're going to learn from history, let's go back there. Let's have a reset of economic reality from '08 and let the people get their way. Let a republic work. Let a democracy work. So let's start there, and then we'll talk about making the investors in Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac whole. But I have great respect for Jerome Corsi. I have great respect for all the InfoWarrior reporters. Okay, but let's just be honest. That's all I'm saying. I mean, let's have, you're going to, go back in time and do something retroactively and make somebody whole. Let's make all the homeowners that got cheated out of their homes whole. Okay, I know what happened. I was a licensed real estate agent from 2006 to 2010. And I know a little bit about this because I got into it because I wanted to learn the ins and outs, and I was very well studied, and I learned it, and it's putrid. It sickens me to my core, and I want nothing to do with it. Ill-gotten gain. I don't want anything to do with any special interest groups that benefit at the cost of others. This media conspiracy convincing people that high housing costs are a good thing. Could you imagine trying to convince all the tenants? More than half the people in California now, by the way, are tenants. Convincing them that high rents are good. But that's what the mainstream media did, because they used to have a critical mass of homeowners in California, but they can't get away with that crap anymore. Okay? Okay, that ship sailed. That fraud has been exposed to the nth degree. So let's get real. Let's get honest. Or else you're going to hell. That's what's going to happen to anybody that wants to be dishonest. Anybody in the mainstream media says, well, I'm scared. I need my job. I'll be homeless if I don't pay my rent and bills. And okay, I get it. God gets it. Okay, but I'm sorry. We're all stuck between a rock and a hard spot. There's no easy out. To thine own self be true. I mean, isn't it better to die on your feet than to die a coward on your knees? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And the men have to step up to the plate. We have to start showing women the due respect that they are warranted, and we they're our better half. And it starts with men, stepping up to the plate and being men and being willing to die and just being honest. Say, no, if you make me homeless, if you're able to destroy me because I was so clear with the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and exposing the evil in this world and who's really at fault in the problems we have in this world, then so be it. Let God's will be done. If God wants to let me die, fine, but he's going to resurrect me. He's going to give me an imperishable body, and I get to inherit the surface of the earth, and it's going to be a paradise because finally God's will is going to be accomplished on earth, and it's going to be a wonderful, beautiful place filled with peace and joy and contentment, safety and security and liberty and freedom and prosperity. Okay? No more fear. Unwarranted, undeserving fear from this evil force of this world, Satan and the money masters. Okay? So, yeah, we all have to get real. We all have to get real and be willing to say, look, go ahead. Go ahead, make me dirt poor, make me indigent. Okay? But I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. That's it. And even if I'm cutting my own throat, I'm doing it for a greater cause, and that is God's cause. I'm stepping up to the plate, say, I'm one of your warriors, God, and I'm not a violent man, as you know. But I'm willing to put my neck on the line here. That's it, man. It's my soul. It's about salvation and helping others to realize it's about your soul. It's about where you go from here. So we all need to get real. We all need to get ruthlessly honest, and first and foremost with ourselves. Like Jesus said, go in our closet and pray. And and then we'll get the answers, and they're clear, because God doesn't want his will to be a mystery to us. He wants us to be able to follow his will. How does he do that unless he reveals it to us? He just wants the relationship to be his friend. He doesn't want to be some scary God's poking his head through the clouds again. No, it's about, I love you, and if you love me, then be my friend. And if you're my friend, you'll go out and do these things. You'll try to win more friends for me. And this is how you'll do it. You'll give them understanding. You'll give people understanding. You'll give them the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. You will love them. You will show compassion. You will show mercy. You will show empathy. Okay? And you will thereby put your talents to good use. And you will truly be wealthy in ways that the world and the people of the world don't understand, because they're dead. They're asleep for all intents and purposes. They don't exist because they haven't understood true value, okay, ultimate value from what is a very marginal value. All the things of this, all the temporal things, the material things, the possessions, the money, all this stuff is a very marginal value. And this is what we need to convey to other people. So just remember all the problems that would disappear and how that's a problem for society. Do you understand all the people that are employed in the social welfare industrial complex, the dubious warfare industrial complex, the debt industrial complex, the crime industrial complex? Do you understand now how many people's jobs would be threatened, okay, if we just ended extreme, desperate poverty? And don't you think God would do that? So do you understand the trauma that we're due from being on the wrong track all this time? And how grave, how serious the situation we are in individually and collectively? That this is frightening. We're at a very frightening time in history. And we've got to face reality. And reality, okay, is not a pretty sight at this point. It's going to be very tumultuous for a while this thing turns around. But it needs to turn around. It needs to change. God needs to have justice instilled and installed upon the earth. This is where the separation of the wicked and the righteous comes in. Okay, in order for God to be fair to the righteous, at some point he has to just intervene, intercede in our affairs and say, no more, you're not found worthy to remain on the surface of the earth. That's this whole thing about Hades or hell, this gulf, this chasm that is put in place and nobody can move it. Okay, very powerful angels, it said, these big angels are set to, they stand guard over, and once this tomb is sealed, this Dante's Inferno place with all the hypocrites and the gnashing of the teeth, all these evildoers, these haters of God and humanity. Okay, once it's sealed, it's sealed. They can't get to us anymore. Even if they decide that I was wrong, I repent, it's too late. Okay, that's God only has that wherewithal, that wisdom and power to decide that when that time exactly is. Jesus said he didn't even have it, but God has it. But the angels don't have it, but God has it. Okay, and we humans sure don't have it. So that's why our job is to hold our hand out to the bitter end, to the worst, most vile of men, and say, is there hope? Can you be saved? Can you be redeemed? Do you understand why you're so evil, why you're untenable to God and to humanity, why we cannot put up with you anymore? But understand the profound implications of what I'm saying here. Just imagine all the people's time that would be freed up to do other things if they weren't serving the beast system. All those people I aforementioned, the dubious warfare. I'm not talking about the military. And I mean, I understand there's a time for war, just like it's written in Ecclesiastes. A time for war, a time for peace, and all that good stuff. We all get it. A man knows a man's got to do what a man's got to do. He's got to man up and stick his neck on the line for the women and the children, folk. That's the way it is. So as a man, although I'm a pacifist, I say use violence as a last resort. Nonetheless, I'm a good guy to have on your team if it's time to kick ass. So I hope that time never comes. Believe me, I'm a wholly, with a W, nonviolent guy. But I'm also one for protecting and defending the innocent and for the American way. And we are a little wild, us Americans. We believe in the First Amendment rights, and we believe in the Second Amendment rights and the Fourth Amendment rights and all the other good rights that we have that are given by God, not by men. But those rights have constantly been threatened by the same evil group of people I'm talking about that want to take away, they want to usurp the Constitution and give us, draconian police state, authoritarian, totalitarian, communistic, fascistic, Stalinistic crapola in its stead. And American people aren't going to take it. We're just not. That's it, man. We're going to stand up for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, for free speech, for Second Amendment. And that's just the way it is.